Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Ukraine's capital Kyiv has been attacked from the air by Russia for the 9th time this month. Kyiv's authorities said it seemed all incoming missiles had been destroyed, but smoke was seen over the capital after debris caused some damage in 2 districts. Officials say 1 person had been killed and 2 more wounded. The wreckage of cruise missiles falling in amongst residential areas. Ukraine's Air Force said overall 29 out of 30 missiles launched overnight were shot down. Meanwhile, striking drone footage shows residential buildings hit with intense artillery fire in Bakhmut, a devastated city at the centre of fighting in eastern Ukraine. Ukraine's military said it had made new territorial gains in heavy fighting around the city, despite being outgunned and outnumbered by Russian forces. In the past week, Kyiv has said it has stepped up pressure on Moscow's troops to the north and south of Bakhmut. Russian mercenary forces say they have moved forward inside the city, where Kyiv has acknowledged they have made small advances. Rail traffic has been suspended between the capital of the Crimean Peninsula and the city of Sevastopol after a freight train carrying grain derailed. Crimean Railways said in a statement that the derailment was caused by interference by outsiders. Wagons loaded with grain had derailed and no one was injured. Earlier, the Baza Telegram channel, which has links to Russian security services, had reported an explosion on a railway line in the region, which was annexed by Russia in 2014. Leaders of the G7 nations are meeting in Japan, where they will discuss a proposal for a Ukraine peace summit during their 3-day meeting in Hiroshima. United States President Joe Biden told his Japanese counterpart Fumio Kishida that the US and Japan will hold Russia accountable for its invasion of Ukraine. Meanwhile, Rishi Sunak said he would talk to the EU about concerns over car manufacture following warnings of an existential threat posed by a looming Brexit trade deal deadline. It's after automaker Stellantis, which owns Vauxhall, Peugeot, Citroën and Fiat, warned British car factories will be forced to close if the government does not renegotiate its Brexit deal immediately.
We are engaged in a dialogue with the EU about how we might address those concerns. When it comes to auto manufacturing more generally, I'm going to be meeting the CEO of Nissan later today. As you'll know, they've invested £1 billion in the northeast for electric vehicle manufacturing. Other Japanese leaders I'm meeting today, total investment of £18 billion.
Airstrikes have pounded parts of the Sudanese capital Khartoum as further fighting erupted near a military camp in the south of the city. The army has used air power and heavy artillery to try to drive back the paramilitary rapid support forces from residential areas of Khartoum and its adjoining cities of Bari and Omdurman. The Sudanese Doctors Syndicate accused the RSF of attacking 3 ambulances and arresting their drivers and a doctor in Khartoum. The union said it has documented attacks on 20 hospitals. A New York City cab driver who drove the Duke and Duchess of Sussex for about 10 minutes as they tried to shake off photographers has said the couple were clearly nervous during the short journey.
3 people hop out of a black car right into my cab, and it was Prince Harry and Meghan, and there was another woman with them as well.
Sukhchern Singh, who goes by the name of Sonny, says he picked them up at a local police precinct in Midtown Manhattan. Harry and Meghan's spokesperson said the couple endured a relentless pursuit that lasted for more than 2 hours after they left the Miss Foundation for Women, where Meghan was honoured for her work.
All of a sudden, paparazzis came out of nowhere and just started flashing, taking pictures, and and they didn't stop until the security got out and said, "Move, move, move." And then the garbage truck got out of the way, and the paparazzi were following the car. And Prince Harry and his wife and the other lady, they were nervous and they looked scared.
And President Gianni Infantino has promised that the 2026 World Cup will be beyond the imagination during a ceremony to launch the branding for the tournament in Los Angeles.
In the Hollywood Hills, Los Angeles, your hosts tonight.
The United States, Canada and Mexico will play host to 48 teams, the first time so many countries have been involved in the competition. For the first time, an image of the trophy and the tournament hosting year is depicted in the tournament logo. Infantino was joined on stage for the branding reveal by Brazil's Ronaldo, who won the World Cup in 2002. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel studios in Lagos.